All right, shalom, shalom, Akim. All right, first and foremost, we'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Of course, giving double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Lord's hopefully elect, all right, that are scattered amongst the four corners of the earth, all right, who are given their due diligence, being occupied in these prophecies, and staying steadfast in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This lesson comes inspired through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And, the precept is Hebrews chapter 3 and 12. So I'm just going to read that. We're going to build off that in the spirit, and hopefully, brothers are edified. So it reads, Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. It says, "Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin." So, the whole point is verses 12 and 13, that it says, "Lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief." See, the Lord, he's watching everything that we're doing, man, and seeing if we're staying faithful, seeing if we really have that confidence in him, okay? And with that confidence that we are supposed to have within him, there's certain things that we are to perform, okay? We have certain obligations, responsibilities, and duties to do in the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, okay? That's really what helps prove our faith, or it's what helps solidify our faith. That's why you see us continuing to do studio shows. That's why you see us continuing to go out on the highways and byways, because we understand the responsibility that we have in continuing as faithful servants on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So it is also our obligation and duty to encourage, okay, our fellow labormen to do the very same thing. As time progresses, evils are going to be multiplied. That's what the prophecies say. We're going to have the enemy try to come in like a flood, all right? But we are supposed to stand firm and stand fast and to continue to declare the names of our power, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and do what we have been commanded to do, which is to teach the words, teach the prophecies, all right? Until what? Till the Lord makes us a praise and the fame in the earth. We're not to give him no rest, man, all right? So,
Genesis
come.
15. It says, Genesis 15 and 4. It says, "And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. And he said unto him, and he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto them, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness."
So again, a couple points to make out of there is only the Israelites are referred to as the stars, okay?
Ishmael wasn't chosen yet.
Yeah, Ishmael wasn't chosen, all right? That great nation was the Israelites, okay? Going back to the fathers of the promise, right? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, okay? As a matter of fact, when you look up that word world, it means what? Cosmos, orderly arrangement, a particular sect, okay? So that's us. We are that innumerable multitude, okay? We are that great nation, all right? And the point is go back and read that precept again, Babakusha, because the whole lesson right now, the way the Spirit is moving, is rooted in faith, right? Everything has to be, and somebody get me Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. Okay, so faith, okay, has to be in you, okay? You can't fake it, all right? Or you can't fake it for very long. And see, this is why the Lord puts his men under certain tests, to try them, to prove whether or not they be true, whether or not they are integral, all right? And for the ones that really believe in this thing, those different trials that we experience actually purges us so we can go to the next level and we continue to be cleansed and purified. But for someone who doesn't really have the faith, for them, it becomes overwhelming And through those different difficulties and things that they may face, ultimately they can no longer bear that burden. It's too much for them to suffer. So they start looking for other things to try to find comfort in. Okay, this is no longer the comfort for them. Okay, it's too difficult, it's too hard. And the truth is this word, this truth, this faith, it really isn't for everybody, man. Despite popular belief, the Most High has only got an elect, a remnant. Okay, but
Right, yeah, because because guys, they come in and they think that they can just do whatever they want, and then they get weak and then they disappear.
Right.
And there are quite a few guys that have done that. From a Delaware demon, Double D, I coined him. He just he didn't want to take the rebuke,
Right.
And we had Kamara Dan. He just disappeared into some pseudo Illuminati shit. I don't know what was with that. And then you had other guys that just didn't want to be here and they went to other camps.
Right.
And that was out of order.
Right.
But Yahweh Shai, he knows the heart.
Right.
The hearts of all of us.
Exactly.
So in the end, before Yahweh Shai comes, it's going to be known who the Lord's chosen. Before the seraphims come and take over the airspace of Great Babylon and the different nations around the world, the Lord's going to endow Yahweh Shai. He's going to endow his servants with spiritual power.
That's it.
All right, and the word of Yahweh Shai is going to be magnified.
Right.
Because it's precious now. It's going to be even more precious in a day, in the time of Jacob's trouble.
God.
The false prophets, their word, it's going to fail. All right, because the word of the false prophet can't prevail forever.
God.
It says faith, Genesis 15, and 5, and he brought him forth abroad and said, look now, this is the promise, toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
God.
All right, it's a lot there, and it reaffirms it in the 13th verse, where it says, surely thy seed shall be a stranger, and the land is not theirs. And the word stranger is Gar.
Right.
So all the Israelite foreigners would be considered Gar.
Exactly. Right. And further confirmation is that one of the curses that befell the nation of Israel was that the Lord scattered thee. All right, scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth, man. The Lord did that as a means of punishment, man. All right. And that's what happened to us. We're all around the world. We are literally all around the world. We are literally in every scattered in every nation. That's why when you go to books like Isaiah, the 11th chapter, it talks about how that there was going to be an ensign that will stand for the people, okay? And out of these different nations shall come the Israelites, okay? And you have that the Great Awakening has happened, man, okay? You have Israelites that are literally under every nation among heaven coming back to their nationality as being Israelites, okay? And among them you have the 144,000, okay? And the remnant, the rest of that remnant, which is the 1/3, that makes up the 1/3. Okay, who have faith in what the Lord is saying. Okay, just like Abraham or Abram. All right.
Yeah, and as opposed to the Israelis, they use Genesis 15 and 18 on down to take supremacy over the land of Israel, which is not their land. We're the biblical Israelites. All right, Hebrew is a language, and Israel is our nationality, and we have tribes amongst the Israelites. We have 12 tribes in Israel, pursuant to Revelation, the 7th chapter, I believe.
God.
All right, so yeah, what it says, the great river, the Egypt to Euphrates. All right, so everything in between that's supposed to be the biblical Israelites' land, and we're going to inherit that land in the future.
That's it.
All right, and we're not going to use the Rothschilds or the British Empire or the Brits. They're not going to. It wasn't prophesied that the Israelites were going to return to the land of Israel by the will of the Rothschilds and the British government. All right. Now they don't. They're already in the land, and they deny they denied that the Lord ever even came. So they can't be the biblical Israelites. That should be elementary to comprehend that. All right? They don't have faith. They worship out of the Talmud. See, the real men of the real Israelites, I should say, are going to have faith. All right, that we're going to be delivered. All right, not by bow, not by sword, but by the Spirit of Yahweh or Yahushua. All right.
Right.
And they think that they try to invest in us like we have some carnal power. We don't have that power. We're weak. We're worms. Like the scriptures say, "Thou worm Jacob." We're weak. Our power is in destroying you with the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which is the words in His book. That's our power.
Our power lies in the faith that we have in the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Right. We don't have physical power. We're weak when in relative to Esau's power, the E's power, Master E, or Massa E. All right.
Right, Khan. As a matter of fact, real quick, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and 2. You know what? I'm gonna read 9. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Right? And that's us, right? The Lord said that He knows our works, our tribulation, and our poverty. Like the brother said, we've been put in a certain state of weakness right now, where we don't have no real power, because this is not our kingdom. This is not our rest. All right? We've been brought to America to serve punishment, right? Underneath our enemies. That number one enemy being the Edomites, okay? So-called white man. All right? Whether he likes it or not, whether his algorithms like it or not, that's just the simple fact of the matter, okay? You are the biblical Edomites. But Yahushua said, but thou art rich. Now we're rich because we have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. We have, through the mercies of our power, regained who we are as a nation of people. We are the biblical Israelites. Now, the significance of that is the prophecies that have to do with the Israelites. The Lord said that He was going to restore the kingdom again unto Israel. So who are the Israelites? Those are the questions. Who are the Israelites? Who are the enemies of the Israelites? Okay, like you had General Yohana do a recent interview, and he was being very general and non-specific. The truth of the matter is, the Edomites are a hated nation by the Most High. Okay, and in turn, they are the number one enemy of the Israelites. Not because we're just simply trying to perpetuate hate, all right? But because of the fact that they are that violent, they are that wicked, they are that deceitful, that deceptor, great deceptor that the Most High talks about. That's a fact.
And they're criminals.
That's not, hey, you can take it personal, all right? You can make it, you could try to paint it however you want to, but that is what the scriptures say. You are the wicked. The Most High called you the wicked. Okay. We're just the servants. We're the prophets. We're the friends on a deeper level of Yahweh Shai. And He has revealed these secrets unto us to reveal to the rest of the world who the enemies of the Israelites are. So when this whole thing goes down, who's the Most High going to destroy? Most High talks about the judgment that He's coming with to reward those who do good and who do evil. So you have to have individuals that are playing those roles.
Quick piece of it.
Yeah.
God, this book of Ezekiel chapter 36 and 5. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
Yeah, the Lord spoke against, okay, anti, okay, in opposition of. Go ahead.
It says, and against all Idumea.
Idumea, that's just the Greek way of saying Edom. Okay? So that's wherever you are, that's wherever you dwell, because the Most High calls you the border of wickedness. Okay? Go ahead.
which have appointed my land into their possession.
Right, like the brother said, you know, the Israelites were going to return to the land, but not through the crown of the Rothschilds or signing, you know, the the Belfort Salakia Declaration. Okay, that's all artificialized. That has nothing to do with biblical prophecy as far as how the Israelites were going to return onto the land. Lord said He Himself was going to put us back in the land, and that there were going to be great judgments to take place prior to that, and those things haven't happened yet. So that's a huge red flag. Go ahead.
John, it says, to their possession with joy.
Right, so they took the Lord's land, and like the brother said earlier, which is actually our land, okay? Each respective tribe was given a portion by the Most High, all right? When you go back to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, it tells you that the bounds were separated by the people, particularly the Israelites. And the Lord stretched our borders, okay? When that whole section of land, and each tribe was given a great portion. Now, in retrospect, yeah, that's the Lord's favorite pit. And that is truly the land of milk and honey, and the Israelites own that land, have all the rights to that land. But I'm going to take it even further, because the entire world was made for our sakes, man. The entire world, everything in it was created for our sakes. It was to be our possession. That includes the nations. People have such a problem with that. What are we? Right now, we are in the hands of the enemy. We are the property of Esau, Edom. That's why we have to go through his system to earn a living. We have to go through his system to do anything. That makes you property. Okay? That makes you a servant. The money system that you're working so hard for is a system that he has set up. And it's nothing righteous. Right? Go ahead. There's a lot of sub details there. You know, but go ahead.
It says, with joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, and to cast it out for a prey.
Yeah, man, and then here it is. They're dwelling in that land, they're occupying the land, and they're defiling it, man. They're defiling it. They're telling they first of all, they don't have rights to the land, but they're dictating who can and cannot be there.
Right.
Right? Trying to push out the Palestinians.
Aye.
Okay? Then you have the land so messed up that they have to import resources. They're defiling it with homosexuality. Okay? Different abominable foods. All right? They themselves are shedding blood in that land, defiling it with blood.
Costing the United States government, what, how much money per minute? I have to look it up again.
Yeah, because the United States,
He's sending billions of dollars a year.
Yeah, in military aid and otherwise. So does that sound like the kingdom of heaven has been restored unto the Israelites when you have to rely on other nations for resources? The Lord said he was going to give us the entire earth back, and it was going to be renewed in righteousness. Again, another major red flag, you know? So the Edomites, in retrospect to everything that's going on right now, has a lot of explaining that they have to do. Because it's through their rulership that these things are happening on the earth. This man has raped, robbed, and murdered all around the world, man. I think just recently it came out on Russia Today that America has approximately 800 military bases or more around the world. And then those aren't just like regular military bases. They're mini cities.
Yeah.
They're literally occupying all these other nations' lands. Okay, and what is that? That's the scripture where it says, neither keepeth he at home.
Yep.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell, man. Meaning this man cannot ever be filled. It's like a big pit. He's just consuming, but never yet satisfied. That appetite is never extinguished. He just desires more and more and more until there's nothing left. Till everything is reduced to corruption and desolation, man. This man has to be put out. He's a destructive force throughout the entire earth. Okay? The whole world has a problem with you Edomites. You know? Even your counterparts, okay? The EU, certain NATO members, Russia, okay? Certain of these members are counterparts of your nation. There are other Edomites that specifically have a problem with you Americans. Okay? The Lord said he was going to make these small among the heathen, and we're seeing that happen. You're being despised throughout the whole world. So if you're calling us a hate group, guess what? The entire world is a hate group.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, you want me to finish up on it more? Or
Did you make your point?
yeah, just me.
Okay, come on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a lot to pay for. That land don't belong to you. Okay? That land don't belong to you.
I got enough for you.
Come on.
Real quick. Jeremiah chapter.
You're not the Israelites. Oh yeah, and another thing, we're not anti-Semites, okay? Or really, should be anti-Shem, because we ourselves come out of the line of Shem, man. There was more than one nation that came out of the line of Shem. It wasn't just Esau that came out of the line of Shem, man. So that's madness. Here it is, you call everybody who speaks against the so-called Jews, by the way, all right, Jewish people, as being anti-Semitic. But a lot of the nations that come against you, Edomites who claim to be of the Jewish race, so to speak, are all part of the line of Shem. The Israelites included. The real Israelites, that is. Go ahead.
Okay. Yep, book of Jeremiah chapter 49 and start 7. It says, concerning Edom,
Right.
thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
Right, and you got, and again, this, bringing it about around full circle, this whole thing is based upon faith. Okay? A lot of our people are talking smack right now. Talking mess. And we know that, hey, the scriptures talk about in the last days, right? Scoffers are gonna come. They're gonna come. They're gonna see these different events taking place, and they're not gonna be able to properly gauge what's really going on. Right? This whole battle has always been Jacob versus Esau. Always, man. That natural enmity that the Most High put between the woman and the serpent. Okay, the serpent representing the spirit that's in Esau, Edom today, and the woman representing the children of Israel. Okay, we're fighting a spiritual battle right now. Okay, and Esau just coming with all that slander, right? Setting up to try to come in like a flood. Go ahead, though.
It says, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perish?
Yeah, and you could literally see that this is coming to pass. With the different narratives that came out with that shooting in Jersey, man.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. Yeah, right. Come on. They're all over the place with that. But you still have very foolish individuals who don't do any type of real research, okay, who are not prudent, okay, who don't looketh well into their going, who are simple and believeth every word, and have, believed on the report of the oppressor, believed on the report of the great deceptor, Esau, Edom, man. But that's okay. That's on them. That's on you.
Yep.
That's on you. At the end of the day, that's on you. We every single time we speak, we talk about how these are the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that the only thing we've been commanded to do is to teach the prophecies. There is going to come a day. See, we're not going to do it like General Yohana. We're not going to give fair speeches. There is coming a day where the Lord is going to endow his men with spiritual power, which we're going to need to be able to stand up against our enemies. That's a fact. That's not hearsay. That's not just what I believe, okay? As if I'm coming out of my own mind. This is what's written in the Holy Scriptures, man. We're not going to start censoring ourselves because Esau wants to propagate lies and hypocrisies. Go ahead.
It says, is counsel perished from the prudent?
Is counsel perished from the prudent? Here it is. You try to set this thing up on the Israelites and it blew back up in your face. There's even Edomites that know that that shit didn't seem right. So we could see that your counsel is failing. Like, because you can't get to the Lord's elect, man. That's the thing. This whole thing is you trying to figure out a way on how you can get to the Lord's elect, the ones who really have the faith, the ones who have the truth. Your biggest threat, your biggest enemy are those who have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who are dispelling all the lies that you have told for so long. That is your biggest threat. That's why you signed new policies, okay? That's why you allow YouTube to target what they consider non-commercially viable channels to be shut down, what you would consider controversial teachings and you know, conspiracies and right, what you would classify as hate speech, which the only thing that you deem to be as hate speech are those videos and individuals that speak up against what you're doing out here, okay? And that's even your own people who come out and bring out different information on the harmful effects of, let's say, 5G technology, all right, and how it emits different you know, radiation and microwaves that are very harmful to the body. Even them are a target because it goes against your New World Order, it goes against your agenda. Go ahead.
It reads on, it says, I'm gonna say, it says, flee ye and turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
Yeah, and the calamity, we're seeing the calamities fall upon Esau, Edom. We're seeing it, man. That's why all these things are happening. You know, and it's going to be more evident because the Lord said that the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So right now, their wisdom is failing them. Yep. They're scrambling to try to come up with something, and it's failing them. Because we're at the time of the end of your rulership, okay? We're at the end. We are literally at the end of your rulership. You know?
Okay. It said, the time that I will visit him, if the grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves up by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare.
Right. And Esau's being made bare. And that's the thing. That's the sign of any kingdom's fall. Is they get exposed for their evil. They get exposed for their sins. You know? And we see how the sins of Esau, Edom have reached onto the heavens. And you have, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, been made out for who you really are. You're not white, representing purity. You're not the Israelites, which are God's chosen people. You have nothing to do with the covenants, the giving of the law. You have nothing to do with the truth. You are literally the devil that the Bible speaks of. Esau, Edom, so-called white man. And your strength is failing you, your power is failing you. You know?
God. And it says, and I have uncovered his secret places.
Right. Most High stripping you bare, man. Most High stripping you down.
And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
And then eventually, yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to be reduced to a slave. He's going to be reduced to a subservient of the nation of Israel, because he's not going to be in dominion and power after this point. We're seeing the fall of his dominion over the earth. Okay?
Yeah, reach up.
And our people don't want to believe that. Though it's written, and though we see it being made manifest, they still don't believe. But it's okay. Romans 3:3, go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. It It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. The Most High is raising up, first of all, the Most High is raising up these other nations because it is the time of the Lord's indignation. We can get Joel exact that we can. So the Most High is raising these other nations up, man, to specifically stand against the things that Esau, Edom has been doing for such a long time, particularly. All right, so America is, has made these different deals with these nations and gave them the short end of the stick, so to speak. Okay, but these other nations aren't having it no more. When you could do your due diligence into seeing how America has tried to infiltrate these different nations, giving them bad loans, right? Anytime a certain nation has basically, defaulted on their loans and stuff like that, Esau will offer them money under different terms, but those terms are really to completely take full control over that particular government, nation, or people. And that's why you see their policies, from their democracy to their homosexuality, okay, in this Western way of life, bleed over into these other nations, bleed over into these other countries, because that's part of the terms and the conditions. All right. So they're sick and tired of that, man. They're sick and tired of being told how to rule their own nation. All right, and Babak, read that latter end, because those nations being rounded up to destroy Babylon is part of the Israelites' salvation. Okay, because we're patiently awaiting for the RFID microchip to be made mandatory. Okay, and for more people to take the chip. Because upon that main prophecy, we know that World War III will be right behind it, okay, or simultaneously happening, okay? But that has to happen first, okay? And we believe that, okay, pursuant to what the scriptures say and what we've been taught. That has to happen first. Go ahead.
This is Revelations 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets.
Yeah, what is going to be our rewards? Our rewards are going to be kept back from the famine, kept back from the hour of temptation, kept back from death, kept back from the sword, okay, Esau, Edom, kept back during the time of martial law. All right, when the Lord unleashes the different beasts to devour these people, we're going to be kept, man, it's going to get, listen, man, I don't even like trying to describe how bad it's going to be, because I know that what I say will not be able to do it justice. The scriptures outline that it's literally the worst judgment to ever take place, man. Can we just get it in Daniel's 12? Block shots, Daniel's 12:1.
Okay.
All right.
Look at Daniel chapter 12:1. Where it reads, it says, "In that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people."
Right. The Lord designated certain angels on the right-hand side to keep watch over the nation of Israel, man. That's always been the case. Okay? Go ahead.
"And there shall be a time of trouble."
There shall be a time of trouble. Continue. And we in that time, basically, we are now in the stages of that trouble. The sign and evidence of that is when Esau decided to make us mainstream. Even going back to the Covingtons in it.
Yeah.
Because when you do the research on the Jersey shooting, so-called, okay, it links right to that Covenant incident. So like one brother said, they made their case, okay?
Yep.
And that's what they're going to perpetuate in their media,
Yep.
okay? Which is their witchcraft. That's their medium to how they spread lies and deceit and deception. That's the angle that they're playing. We are a so-called terrorist group. We are a hate group. We're so-called, but we're none of that. We're Israelites, yes. We teach the scriptures, yes. And we teach prophecies. So if you if you say any three of those things that I just said means we're guilty of something, then yeah, I guess we are. With the Hebrew Israelites, we teach the prophecies and we believe in the prophecies.
Okay.
You don't have anything else.
Okay. It says that such as never was since there was a nation.
Right, this never happened before. There's no time in history where you could say this
Right.
which for sure was the trouble and tribulation that the Lord was talking about.
Okay.
It hasn't been yet experienced. That's how bad it is, man. You're gonna know. Because it's uncomparable to anything we've ever seen in times past. To these other kingdoms, the way that they fell. And there's some pretty crazy judgments, man.
Yeah.
From the Black Plague, right?
Bubonic plague.
Yeah, the bubonic plague that the Lord sent during the time of the Dark Ages, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Slavery even.
Yeah, when Jerusalem was besieged
Yes.
through Titus and Vespasian, okay? There's so many judgments that the Lord sent upon the nation of Israel and upon the world that the Lord said is not able to be compared to this time that is we're experiencing, you know? Obviously we haven't reached the climax yet, but we are on that upward hill, right? Getting ready to reach that climax. And it's just everything is getting ready to basically just
Boom.
yeah, explode, man. Look at the world. Look at the different protests in Hong Kong, Iraq, okay? In the Middle East, you have tons of protests going on.
Yep.
You still have those protests going on in Paris, okay?
South America.
They're everywhere, man. Yeah, Venezuela, Chile,
God.
Peru. And the Lord said that when you see the uproars of the people, then know that it is that very same time in which He spoke.
God.
Okay? Just had a major earthquake happen, a 6.8 earthquake somewhere in the States. I forget exactly where. But continue.
God. It continues and reads, and it says,
You see signs in the heavens, you know, more chariot sightings than ever before. Go ahead.
even to that same time, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered.
Right. And this is at that very same time, it said that our people were going to be delivered. And that's true. The Lord said that through much tribulation, ye shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. So we understand that the Lord is going to try us and put us through different tests, and our faith, going back to the beginning of how the lesson started in the Spirit, this whole thing is about our faith. The Lord told us not to do certain things, and we're going to follow that to the best of our ability with faith, believing that we're going to be spared from the very same evils that we're reading about right now. Right? Our faith is going to be counted onto us for righteousness. And in conjunction with our faith, the works, the videos that we have done, you know, in sincerity of the Holy Spirit, trying to enlighten the Lord's elect so that they have the same hope that we have the same patience and confidence and strength in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right? That they will do their due diligence and that the Lord will spare them and have mercy upon them. That's what this whole thing is about. 2 Timothy 2:10. Therefore I endure all things for the sake of the elect. And that's what this whole thing is about, the elect of the nation of Israel. Because those are the ones whom salvation is for.
It says, every one of them that shall be written in the book.
Right, everyone that should be found written in the book. That's beginning with the Lord's elect. The 144,000. Singing the new song. Okay, which is this doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The prophecies. Professing the name, standing stiffly and boldly for that name, and everything that that name represents, which is truth, in order. Go ahead.
God. It says, verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
God, that's it on that.
God.
Go back to Revelation.
God, that you all said too.
This is Revelations 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Yeah, so the Lord is going to give the reward to his prophets, which again is salvation. It's that hedge, it's that covering. Okay, but the ultimate mercy that the Lord's servants are going to receive is salvation, is being beamed up. Okay, and it says that he was going to destroy them that destroy the earth. So, who is destroying the earth? Okay, literally destroying the earth, corrupting the earth of its resources, corrupting nations through all kinds of wicked philosophy. It's man, come on. You know, you still got, like I said, our people that don't believe that, but their unbelief is only going to be unto them their destruction.
Quick precept. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and 2. And it says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
Right, and that's what this man is known as in the scriptures, is the violent. During the time of the Roman Empire, he was known as the violent. Okay? You can read about that. I believe that's in the book of, John? If I'm not mistaken, it's either John or Luke. All right? Because everything that Esau... Yeah, come on. Everything that Edom has obtained here on the earth, he has done it via the sword. And that's part of his blessing. Remember, when Isaac had given the blessing to Jacob, Esau came unto his father and he wept. Okay? Crying unto his father for what blessing he may be able to attain. Okay? Even though he had already sold his birthright. You know? Just goes to show you the hypocrisy in this Edomite. Okay? And he hasn't found a place of repentance. But according to prophecy, he was still given the blessing of the dew of heaven via the sword. See, that's how he was going to inherit the earth for a limited time, by the way. Because it was never given to him in the beginning to rule the earth in righteousness. That belongs on to the Israelites. Again, going back to the primary two characters of this entire story of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is Jacob and Esau. Nobody goes into the fact that the Lord said that the end of Esau's world, okay, what's the parting sunder of the times? What's the beginning of the first? All right, and the ending thereof. All right, it talks about how Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so you have to understand how the age or the world or the dominion of Esau started in the first place and how he received the earth. Okay, going back to the time of the Greeks, how did he expand his empire? Did he not do it through great slaughter?
Like a leopard.
Yeah, man. That's written in the prophecies. Okay? And the Lord gave him that power. The Lord gave him that ability to be that destructive force on the earth. Okay? But the Lord also said that this man has to pay for these things. He is the violent man that sheds blood. Okay? We got brothers on the comment board. I don't know.
All right, I'll check them.
Come on.
Yeah,
But go ahead, read.
Finish it. Matthew 11 and 12.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
And it reads and it says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence.
Yeah, who's the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is the Israelites. We make up the kingdom. You can't have a kingdom without the people. All right? And we are the Lord's chosen people. We are the nation of kings and priests. We are that peculiar people unto the Most High. Okay? He's established a word and a testimony in the Jacob. Again, that's our faith. That's our power. We're speaking the words of our Heavenly Father, all the things that He's getting ready to do for us, man. And what He's getting ready to do, really beginning with His holy namesake first, but what He's getting to do for His people as well. Okay? And Yahushai, He's coming to avenge, man.
Yep.
He's coming to take back what belongs to Him.
Yep.
Remember, the Heavenly Father Yahweh gave Yahushai the dominion of heaven and earth. So Yahushai coming back to reclaim His throne. Okay? He's getting ready to demonstrate His power. And we are also going to be glorified in the coming of Yahushai. Okay, go ahead.
God, and the violent take it by force.
And the violent take it by force. The violent take it by force. Okay? The violent are you Edomites. Okay? You're the real violent. You're the real extremist. All right? You're the one that's filled with all that hate, man. Okay? Get me because of thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Babak Bashar. These are the things that you have to explain. Where's the retribution for what you did to the Israelites in slavery? Okay, where's the recompense for what you continue to do to Jake in today's times, man? All the poison that you sell them. All right? You're not about righteousness. You're not about what's fair and what's balanced and what's just. That's why this country is in debt. 23 trillion and counting. That's why most individuals, even amongst your own people, are living paycheck to paycheck. That's why before we see our check, it's taxed. The money that we are then, afforded after you've done taxed it is taxed additionally with everything that we buy. There's no winning in this kingdom, man. It's all oppressive.
This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10 says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee."
Yeah, so you want to talk about all these violent acts, okay? What about all the violent acts that Edom has done throughout history? In particular to the Israelites. To this very day, man, what you do. What you do in secret, how you shoot in secret those fiery darts. Okay, through your policies, through your technology, through your GMO foods, through your spraying the air with chemicals of all diverse sorts, the chemtrails, your plot to try to get everybody microchipped. That's not violent. That's not hate. Yeah, you make it a crime to basically speak truth.
Right.
Go ahead.
That was it on that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little more and then
It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt
shame shall cover thee." Go ahead.
It says, "And thou shalt be cut off forever."
That's it, man. Once you serve, see, we're witnessing your fall, okay? And it's gonna be broadcasted. When the missiles hit this place and it's burning, man, it's gonna be broadcasted. Okay, and from there, you elites, okay, you're going into captivity. You're gonna be the first ones cleaning up the dead bodies. You're gonna be the first ones as slaves, excuse me. Okay? Now, Lord willing, we're a part of that number to have a hand in being a part of that. But the point still remains the same. All right? You'll be the first one as slaves. Your whole dominion will be completely taken off the earth. And you will serve a long period of 1,000 years. A long, painstaking 1,000 years of slavery. Okay? And then you will be completely eradicated. All right? That's
This is Psalms, brother had brought out 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Proverbs 29 and 2, Isaiah 34 and 8, Hebrews 12 and 16, but notably Proverbs 29 and 2. And you mentioned it earlier about the destruction of Israel. You look up Psalms 12 and 5. It says, "For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him." We look up the oppression of the poor. We look up oppression, it means destruction, violence, devastation, ruin against the poor. All right, so you can't get around that Yahweh Shai is going to have retribution for things you've done in the past. Because Esau, Edom, right now, he's a criminal on the run from judgment.
right.
So because he appears to have let us go from slavery, and he's not crucifying Taino, Boricua Israelites anymore, now he thinks he got away with all his crimes.
Right.
But the scriptures tell you, when you look up the word, it's talking about us. Look up the word, what was it? Needy. All right, look up the word needy. In Proverbs, Psalms, the 12th chapter, it says, "In want, needy, chief, subject to oppression and abuse." All right?
Yeah. Man.
Needing help, deliverance from trouble, especially as delivered by the power. General reference to the lowest class. So that's definitely talking about so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You can't even get around that. You can't say the so-called Jew is oppressed,
Right.
like the definition that I just read.
Right.
Can't.
And it's been found out, there was a mini documentary that was literally just released, uncoincidentally, that them so-called Jews, man, are fucking moving out of places like Brooklyn over into Jersey and pressuring Jake out of their own neighborhoods through gentrification to try to buy up the property for cheap.
Yep.
Because they know and understand the value of those properties. So they're putting all kinds of pressure to get them up out of there so that they can buy up the property for real cheap. That's fucking wicked, man.
That happened to my great-grandparents in South Philly.
God.
They were building up parts of South Philly that's kind of closer to Center City, and my great-grandparents used to have a nice 3-story house on Catherine Street, you know, in South Philly, 17th and Catherine, and they lost the house somehow. They moved up to into a senior living place, but then it was up for sale, and then they told me about it all late, and there's nothing I could do to get the house. And now it's totally redone. The whole block is beautiful.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, fucking Edomites are living in there.
Right.
It's like, yeah, they be selling them investors.
Yeah, I mean,
They come into the area because obviously they have a projection for that particular area. In most cases, because of the places are within the city.
Right.
All right. Close by the city, right?
Right.
These low income, previously low income.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You have all these different yuppies, hipsters coming in. Okay. They want to make it economically attractive for them, and also for them to get into the area, live cheap, or
Right.
live relatively nearby their job, but being still urban.
Right.
All right. So they of course will push out the existing people being there.
Right.
Being
Well,
low
they'll
income.
assess the, and that's the thing.
Right.
They'll assess the value of a particular area.
Mm-hmm.
Force, you know, in this particular case, and most notably Israelites out of there. Okay.
Yep.
And instead of offering the value to them of what the property is worth,
Mm-hmm.
they'll force them to undersell it to them, so then they could turn around and jack the prices
Right.
up. That's wicked, man. That's evil.
You get mad profit and all that.
That's total imbalance.
Right. But you got certain Jakes that got the finances together that they can't get out. So you have, in part, in these neighborhoods, you got the gentrified, so-called gentrified area, and these got it kind of mixed with the old houses.
Right.
You know, because it's hard to, you know, depending on what type of city you in, it's hard to, get rid of Jake, especially if they got their finances together. I mean, they got their house paid for, they pay their taxes, and they got a stable job. You can't get rid of them if they're in that type of situation. All right.
Right. And then when Esau don't get his way, as we've seen in times past, he'll use different laws to try to take it from you. I mean, you literally have, you know, depending on how bad they want it, they can basically lock Jake up for anything, man. I mean, let's face it. You have something called eminent domain. This Edomite has something called eminent domain, that if it's in the interest of the so-called public, which that's at his discretion. Nobody gets to really vote on that. Oh, well, you know what? We've all come to a resolve that, you know, this doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't work that way. When Esau wants something, remember, as the scriptures say, his desire is as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. So if he has his eyes on a particular target, or he has some type of special interest, he's going to do whatever it takes and use whatever means necessary in his arsenal to get what his heart desires. He is that covetous individual that the scriptures talk about, the most covetous man. Okay, and he won't stop till he gets it, and it still won't be enough. It still won't be enough. And then we're just outlining, we're just scratching the surface, man. We're just scratching the surface. This is what we know, okay?
Psalms
God.
12 and 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. So we know that we live in a demonic kingdom right now, because it says, right, like it says, the wicked walk on every side.
Yeah.
So we know we're surrounded by a bunch of demons.
Yep.
When the vilest men are exalted, and the basis of men is Eve, oppressor Eve.
Right.
He's the most base, most vile creature that the Lord ever created.
Yeah.
All right, so we know, like another scripture says that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn.
Yeah.
So that's how we know we live in an evil system.
Yep, there's that Proverbs 29 too.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said before, even amongst his own people, his counterparts, you know, the lower end Edomites, you know, who are working 9-to-5 jobs, you know, basically scraping by, you know, not that we are empathetic. Look, that's your problem. That's your problem. You're Edomites, and it's your kingdom, and you still on a base low level. That's your problem, man. But the point is, even they understand the wickedness of taxes. Even they'll complain about that, and that Esau will complain of an unjust father.
Oh yeah.
These Edomites know that their people are responsible for these different atrocities on the earth, and we've seen Esau when we talk with him on the streets. He can't deny what we say. He can't deny it. When we say he's occupying all these different lands militarily, oh yeah, you know what? They are. You can't get around it. Now, he won't fully accept that. He won't fully embrace that he has to pay for those things. But to a degree, he understands that there's his counterparts basically are responsible for the evil that takes place on this earth. But where they go wrong is where they feel that they can separate themselves from that. No, that's part of your nation. And as a nation as a whole, you're gonna have to pay. You're all going into slavery. From the highest to the lowest level of you are going into slavery, going into captivity. That is in the scriptures. Again, when we speak, we are speaking based upon the knowledge of the holy scriptures through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It's not our own accord. It's not what we think. It's not what we feel. We're not being inspired by just emotion over here. Go ahead.
Okay.
This is,
Well,
Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Yeah. Another example of your violence and your hate towards Jacob. When you got back into power, when you began to come back into power, you started to eliminate the different iconic images that represented the true biblical Israelites. As the scriptures say that the heathen opened up the book of the law where they sought in to paint the likeness of their image. And that's exactly what you did. You continue to perpetuate the lie that you're God. You continue to perpetuate the lie that you're Jesus Christ, okay? Or the so-called Savior, okay? Which you're not, okay? That you're the only Semite.
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, fucking Judaism is supposed to be accepted as a new race, as a new tribe, a new identity.
It's no longer religion; is now a nationality.
It's a nationality.
Trump said, yeah.
Well, where's that? Where's that in the Bible?
Executive order.
Where's that in the Bible?
Yeah, Judaism not in the Bible. That's something.
The Lord ain't coming back to save Judaism people, man. What the fuck is that? You know, you Edomites are out of your damn mind. So, Khan, the earth has been given. The Most High gave you the power over the earth. All right? And the same way he gave it to you, he is systematically taking it back. Because it isn't for you to be permanently ruling over the entire earth in evil and wickedness. All right? And like we said at the earlier in the show, you're scrambling. You're scrambling. And we know that you're just basically going to say, you know what, the hell with this, and just come in like that flood. You're going to come in like that flood. You know? do some things here, and I'm just speaking in the spirit here. You may do things and try to justify it, but there's gonna come a point where it's not gonna make a difference. You're gonna come through with that chip. You're gonna come through with the force, just like you besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD. When you start justifying yourself, no, you said get them. They're the problem. You're just gonna just stop trying to find a way to justify it, okay? And you're just gonna do it. But when you do that, it's gonna completely fall on your own head, because that's a trap. Okay? The Most High is basically using us in a way as bait, man. Only you ain't gonna get to us. You think in your mind you're gonna get to us, but you ain't gonna be able to get to it. All right? You're only gonna get to those whom the Most High specifically set up to be taken. That's why the scriptures say, "Then it shall be known who is my chosen." Because the Lord gonna give us spiritual power, okay? Give us a greater sense of the Holy Spirit, because we've been in preparation for the things to come. So our standard is gonna be here, you know? And we're gonna spiritually be led the way that we need to go. Like the elder brothers before me have already mentioned in many shows already, that we're not gonna be doing guesswork. It ain't gonna be guesswork. I don't know, maybe we'll go this way, you know? You're not going to close your eyes and spin around in a circle, and when you open up your eyes, that's the direction you're going to go. All right? You're not going to be confused. The Spirit is going to speak to you directly on what it is you need to do, man. You're going to know. And that's reminiscent of the book of Eli. Right? Because the Lord is going to heighten our spirits in that day.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
It's Matthew 16:27. It says, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom."
Yeah, man, and that's a beautiful thing, because there are members of the elect that are literally going to be translated from the earth into a chariot and literally not taste of death. Okay? They're going to be stripped of this chain of darkness, right? And be beamed up into a chariot simultaneously when the missiles are dropping. So that means that the Lord has his elect preserved. Give me Job, chapter 5.
Okay, book of Ayawab or Job, chapter 5, and verse here.
Start 22.
Verse 22.
Actually, you know what? Start at 19.
God. It says here, Job chapter 5, 5 and 19, and it reads, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles."
You got to believe that, man. You got to believe that. Going back to the beginning of the show, you can't have that unbelief of an evil heart. Oh, what am I going to do? Well, you know, how are we going to escape, you know? There's no time to be getting weary of what might happen to you. No man putting forth his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of heaven. You're either all the way in or you're all the way out, man. There's no one foot in, one foot out. You have to be fully invested in this thing. First of all, your confidence in that salvation depends on it. So when the Lord says that he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, you have to let that sink in and digest that every evil thing that is getting ready to happen and that is literally happening right now before us, the Lord has got that hedge around all the different sincere men. So don't let no evil thought creep into your head about, you know, what you're going to do for food, how you're going to protect your family, what are you going to do when the chip comes, what are you going to do when you have to go on the run. Or the Lord already got that figured out already. You just need to do your part and have that confidence and believe, man. Of course it's going to be scary out here. But does not the Lord say, "Thou shalt fear him rather than man"? Fear him which is able to kill both body and soul. And that's the confidence that I have. And in these latter times, that confidence, I believe, is only going to increase. So that's what I promote. That's what I'm professing. So it inspires other Akim. You know what? Yeah, well, it's right there in the scriptures. Yeah, of course he's going to deliver us. We're going to be tried, but we're going to be delivered. Continue.
Come on. Reading on, when it says, verse 20. Oh, sorry. It says, yea, in 7, there shall no evil touch
So that's a
thee.
completed number. It doesn't matter whether it be the sword, whether it be martial law, whether it be famine, pestilence, 2/3, beasts, apparitions. Lord gonna get busy out here, man. We're gonna witness things that are gonna put a newfound fear in us of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's what we're gonna think, oh man, the Most High did that, man, yo.
Yeah, that was Yahweh.
Yeah.
Took that dude out.
Yeah.
You know?
We're gonna be praying the whole time that the Lord continue to have mercy on us.
Yeah.
You know? But we're gonna still have that confidence that, you know, the Most High, hey, well, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. That's gonna be truly known in these times ahead, man. But the Lord's gonna deliver us from every single thing. Go ahead.
And it says, in famine shall he redeem thee from death.
So the Lord's servants are gonna eat. All right? We're gonna be provided for. Okay? The Lord is gonna work very wondrous miracles in our time. All right? Whether it be through the ministering of angels, okay, or some type of divine spiritual intervention. All right? Spiritual power. The Lord is going to show many wondrous works in our time through the Lord's beloved, through the Lord's elect. And I know myself personally, I've had many dreams, okay? Many dreams where the Lord either instructed me to do a particular thing or gave me spiritual power or told me where to go to be protected and saved. Okay, I've had many dreams, man, which is just a reconfirmation of my faith, you know? And I just say that humbly, man. I'm still in hopes, you know? Because at the end of the day, it yet remains to be seen. But it definitely boosts my faith. And I know when I give them testimonies, it boosts other brothers' faith too. Because I know I'm not the only one who has experienced those things. Okay? And the Lord is getting ready to give his elect spiritual power. There's certain men that you see before you that the Lord is going to endow with spiritual power to watch over, okay, other brothers, man. Go ahead.
Reading on.
Keep going, yeah.
Verse
21.
21. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of the destruction when it cometh.
Yeah, and the reason for our confidence is because, first of all, the Lord going to put a stronger, greater spirit on us, first and foremost. But it's going to be a verification of everything that we've already seen. Like, we already see it.
Right.
Spiritually, we got the vision.
Yep.
We understand the prophecy. So when it's made manifest right before us, that's going to be the confirmation of the vision.
Yeah, you go laugh and smile. Like,
Yeah, that's what the apostles been teaching. That's what the elders been teaching. That's what the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai been teaching us the whole time. Been making us known of it. That's why the scriptures talk about how we are not the children of the dark, but the children of the day. Okay? We don't need to be written to about what times we're in. We know very well the signs and the seasons in which we're living in. That day wouldn't overtake us as a thief. Go ahead.
It says, and at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Yeah, I mean that's the point. We're gonna be at peace with the different elements and forms of judgment that the Lord is gonna bring about the earth. Okay, to put other individuals to death. The Lord said that there shall no hair on our head perish, and we gotta embrace that again. Bringing it back around full circle. Hebrews 3. Okay, don't let that evil heart of unbelief settle into your mind, man, because if that's the case, you're not going to be able to enter into this rest. Okay? You have to believe. First of all, the rest begins with the Holy Scriptures. This is our comfort. But the ultimate rest is obviously going to be that salvation, the spiritual power. Now's not the time to doubt. And if anybody has doubt, man, that's why it says in the scripture, brethren. He's talking about brethren. Okay? Now's not the time to be fearful because Esau showing his horns. He's fulfilling prophecy. So if you understand that, then you understand the end results of these prophecies. Well, he's only going to get so far. The Lord said that he's going to be taken down while he is eating. In sufficiency, he shall be in straits. The more moves he makes to try to come after us, the closer the Most High hones in on him to bring his kingdom down. What else we got?
God. And this is real quick, the book of, I'm going to get this one. Sirach chapter 40.
Yeah, these are exciting times, as brothers say, man. We should be in the spirit of rejoicing, you know, fear of the Most High, but in rejoicing. Okay?
Sirach chapter 40 and at verse 9, it says, death and bloodshed, strife, sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked. That's a point. The wicked things were created. So if we are of the elect, we would be of the righteous, covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. So these things that are here to be bringing forth these scourges and punishment, the peace, the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we ain't gonna have any part with that because the Lord will have a covering for us. You know, Yahweh Ratazah.
Yeah.
Okay? These are for the wicked. All right? This trouble, this Jacob trouble, yeah, it's a trying process for the elect to be purged of iniquity and such. All right? But for, of course, the 2/3, it's literally a slaughter, all in slaughter for the Lord. All right? To get them, to fulfill that prophecy, to get them out of the way.
That's it.
All right? So you got to, of course, believe in that. You not be scared. Don't be scared of what's coming. All right? You have to put your faith and confidence that you're covered by the words which was written, that you would be one that was written in the book of life and such. All right? That the Lord said, hey, he's going to protect you. You're going to eat. You're going to be protected.
Right. And you got to understand, like, this is reminiscent of when we were being led away, because it actually talks about that.
I got Psalm 7.
When we were being led out of Egypt, here the Lord gave us that great deliverance.
Yep, right here.
Right? But you still had Jake. After the Lord fed them with manna, after the Lord gave them physical substance, after the Lord delivered them out of the hands of the Egyptians, their enemies, okay, at the time, okay, which they're still our enemies, but they were in power at that time. So they were a primary enemy because they were oppressing the hell out of Israel. But the Lord delivered them out of that, and then Jake turned around and got simple as hell.
Yeah.
So here you're going to have the same thing today. We have all these great signs and wonders. Miraculous things are going to be happening. And you're still going to have simple, sottish Israelites rebelling against the power, man. That's why the brother had to read these things are for the wicked. Okay? That includes 2/3, man. Primarily 2/3. Because when Esau comes in, who's he targeting? Israelites. He going to just group everybody together, man. Whether you try to disassociate yourself with being a Hebrew Israelite ain't going to make a difference to the devil at that time. All right? He's coming for both the Israelites that know that they're Israelites and those who don't know. All right? And really, there ain't no excuse. This word has gone forth. Our people are, if they deny the fact that they're an Israelite, at this point, you're just willingly ignorant. We've been starting from our apostles and our elders on down, and all the different camps, even these other groups that got different camps, they know we're the Israelites, man. Jake knows, but they don't have any belief or faith, 2/3. But go ahead, Salaki.
Real quick, this book of Sahalium or Psalm chapter 78 and starting at verse 14. And it says, in the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire.
Yeah, that represents the chariot. Okay? It's a chariot. That's that cloud is a chariot. Okay?
He clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink as out of the great depths.
Yeah, so he gave us wine to drink. Okay? That's right. We struck the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And out forth came water, an abundance of water, to sustain us. That's what the Lord's going to do. Hasn't Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai sustained us this far?
Right.
Did he not say, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, and all these things shall be added on to thee?
Yeah.
When has the Most High ever failed us?
Right.
And any time that the Most High has taken something away from us, I know every single brother can testify and witness to the fact that it was to elevate you to the next level in the spirit. And the Most High always gave you back a greater portion than what you lost.
Yep.
It just was a matter of your patience to see whether or not you were going to continue to endure and be faithful. That's always been the case, man. 100% of the time. Yeah, in the beginning it is bitter. Okay? And your head is going to stoop. And you get low in the spirit because of this flesh. But the truth of the matter is, because the scriptures say, in your patience possess your souls, you held on, you asked for that strength, the Lord gave you the increase, and you will put back up on your feet again,
Right.
as it was meant to be, through the power and spirit and mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
God.
So this situation isn't any different. Okay? Even more so, the Lord is going to far exceed in these times. Go ahead.
God, verse 16. And he brought streams also out of the rock, and caused waters to run down like rivers, and they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness.
Yeah. Being sottish, being rebellious, being ungrateful. That's Jake, man.
God.
A little comfort that Jake gets their whole mind messed up. That's why the Lord has to constantly be putting hell on us. Because Jake gets that simple. They start doing a little good, and all of a sudden they forget about the Most High. Or it's not good enough.
Yeah.
They lack appreciation. That's why this thing is all about the elect, because we've seen both sides. We've been in situations where we don't have shit.
Yeah.
And then we have something, so we can ultimately remain balanced. That's a prayer, man. You don't want to be, in poverty or in riches. So the Lord's just going to give us enough, and that is exactly what it is that we need. Because if you give Jake what he wants, he going to be spoiled.
Yeah. It say in adversity, in prosperity, there's forgetfulness of affliction.
So the Lord has to balance us out, being that we're in this flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
God.
Because we'll take the comfort and become too complacent and comfortable, man. That's what you see. Jake got fed, the waters came, but yet they still provoked the Most High, man.
God. Yep, it says, provoking the Most High in the wilderness, verse 18, and it says, and they tempted the power in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Yea, they spake against the power. They said, can God or the power furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give us bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore, the Lord.
Right, and of course the Most High can.
Right.
But you weren't being grateful, man. You being very, very selfish and non-appreciative, ungrateful, man. That's why, not to jump the gun, but that's why when all those things were going on, it eventually culminated into Israel worshiping the golden calf.
Yeah.
The Lord made a great separation.
Yep.
Look, those who are going to serve me, come on this side. And the rest of Israel was destroyed. That's remnant of the Lord's elect, and then the rest of the 2/3. Because there is going to be a great divide, all right? Because they're wicked, man. That's just, look, that's what's in the scriptures, man. Go ahead.
God. It says, can he provide flesh for his people? Verse 21. Therefore, Yahweh heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and the anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the power and trusted not in his salvation.
God. Yeah, they didn't trust. They didn't have that confidence. Here it is. The Lord had them basically in that hedge the whole time. The cloud, the water, giving them substance. but yet they still wanted more, you know, provoking the Lord. And then they lacked faith. Ultimately, it came down to their lack of faith. Again, you know, going back to the beginning of the lesson, man. Yeah, this faith has to be in you, man. It has to genuinely be in you, and only the Most High can give it to you. You know? Yeah. Ephesians 2:8, man, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's how the Most High is gonna deal with 2/3 that don't believe. They're gonna perish. They're gonna be put to death. You know, we're gonna bring out a couple more precepts. And shalom to you, Akim, on the comment board. The water for the meal, the water for the precepts.
Yep, shalom, GMS Memphis, Kaya.
We're gonna read a couple last precepts and we're gonna close up. But yeah, man, that's how important faith is, man. You need to truly have this in you, okay? And through your faith, you will establish the laws, statutes, and commandments. You will establish the works of the Heavenly Father, and you will continue to go through that straight gate, man. Do what's required of you in hopes of that mercy. Okay? Now it's not the time to be shaken or stirred, man. It's only gonna get worse. You know? You shouldn't faint in the day of adversity. Otherwise, the scriptures say thy strength is small. You know? The Lord got us. We can't say the same for 2/3 and these other heathen. Because the Most High has got it out for you. You know, go ahead.
This is Hebrews 11:6. It says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Yeah, man. I mean, read that again.
This is Hebrews 11:6. It says, but without faith it is impossible to please him.
So you have to have faith. You have to have that confidence that his word is true, and what he said was going to happen, he's going to make good on it. I believe we read at camp yesterday about none of these shall fail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Habakkuk 2.
Or is that Isaiah?
Yep.
Yeah. Talking about the prophecies.
Yeah.
Okay, none one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. And we believe that, man. We believe that. Go ahead.
It says, for he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
And we believe that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And we have plenty of our own personal testimonies, man, where the Lord saved us out of trouble. The Lord saved us from ourselves, man.
Yeah.
Even being in foolishness. You know? So likewise, in these coming days ahead, man, we got to just continue to, you know, work off of that faith that we already have and pray for more so we can continue. You know? And when we believe, if we continue to seek Yahweh Shem Yahushua and we do what it is that he commanded us to do, and we continue to present ourselves a living sacrifice, okay, as we ought to, and make the necessary sacrifices of our time and whatever else we may have to give up in this life so we can inherit the kingdom to come, and also the blessings even before the kingdom, such as protection from all the hell that's getting ready to come. All right, we have to adopt that mindset, and if we do those things, there is a reward coming to us. Spiritual power. Okay, we read about the Lord delivering us out of 7 troubles, okay, which represents all the destruction, even the nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
You want to keep going?
Was there more to that?
I think that was it.
Okay, Khan. Ephesians 2:8.
Okay. Yeah.
And did you have a precept?
Yeah, I have a precept.
Khan.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8.
Right.
It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith.
By grace. See, and that's another thing. Like, I'm not boasting. What I'm trying to do is encourage Akim, man. You know? Because Jay can get simple, man. You know, they start seeing trouble ahead.
Kind of get faint.
Yeah, start to get faint. You know? This is not the time to be weak, man. There's no reason for you to feel, you know, bad about what you believe, okay? None of that. None of that, man. Read that again, Babak Rashad.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith.
Right. And it's nothing that we did. The Most High happened to have mercy on us. And you know, it's my prayer, right, that myself, the brothers in this camp of, you know, Great Millstone, Philadelphia, okay, also known as GMS Plaintables, Great Millstone Plaintables, and all the sincere Akim scattered abroad, man, all the different camps, all the brothers that are sincere, you know, their loved ones, their families, you know, it's my prayer that the Most High extends that mercy unto all of you, okay, whomever the elect is, beginning with the 144,000, okay, I pray for the apostles and all the Zaquanium, okay, all the sincere Akim and their families, right? But it's all according to the Lord's grace. It's all according to the Lord's election. He's only given a certain number of his prophets, the 144,000, okay, this knowledge to be able to break these things down. Then the rest of that remnant, or 1/3, the ability to have the faith and to believe these things to be true. Go ahead. That's the Lord, man. That's the Most High having mercy on whom He will have mercy. Go ahead.
And that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High.
Right. So knowing that we have this gift, we have to cherish it and embrace it for everything that it is. This is a gift, man. The fact that we can acknowledge that the apostles and the elders are the true leaders in Israel, okay, that there's a standard out there that we have to follow, that it really is about what it is that you say, how you conduct yourself, how important it is to be constantly walking in the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to the best of your ability, always seeking balance in all that you do, confessing the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay, privately and openly when you're doing studio shows and the camp sessions out on the highways and the byways as we've been commanded to do. That's all part of this ministry. It's all part of the defense of the gospel. It's all a part of that faith that the Lord has given us as a gift, and you need to cherish that, man. Not take it for granted. Okay? And there's a reward for that faith, as long as we endure. Go ahead.
It says, not of works, lest any man should boast.
Right. And again, at the end of the day, while works are important and is a part of our faith, because through works, our faith is being manifested. But it's not on works alone, so that no man can boast. Talking about how many videos that they did, you know, how charitable they are, man, because it takes a balance of all these things. Okay? All right? I'm sure a man could do 100 videos a day. If he's not teaching the right thing, what good does it do?
Right. 1 million views and all this bullshit.
Yeah. And that's what these other guys are all about. Views, subscribers. We're not about that. We're about the Lord's elect.
Okay.
Workmen that needeth not to be ashamed. Doing the things that they need to do to cover their families. Go ahead. Well, that's really it on that. That's it on that. And you said you had a precept.
Yes, 1 Kings 19:11. This is, and he said, go forth. This is Elijah. And this when Elijah was on a run, I believe, from Ahab. He said, go forth and stand upon the mountain before Yahweh, and behold, Yahweh passed by, and a great strong wind rent the mountains and break in pieces the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. So it was some angel that passed by and started destroyed the mountain. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord, Yahweh, was not in the earthquake. And Yahweh can use those, those so-called natural disasters to protect us too, like earthquakes, wind, storms. He can shield us from when the enemy's in pursuit of us. It's like when we ran through the Red Sea. He closed the sea, and Pharaoh's horses and his chariots, they all died in the water. All right, that's why I'm reading that.
Yep. It says, that's basically a perfect examples of spiritual intervention.
And after the earthquake, a fire.
Yeah, the Lord gonna put us in a setting where we're always gonna get the advantage if we be those men.
Right. Because the Lord's elect has a hedge. The ones who are going to go up in the chariots, they all have a hedge about us. All right. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a small voice. All right. So it's a precept in Revelation where it says, "Come up hither, my people."
Right.
And the others 1 and 2 high. That's going to be actual voices. And it's the scripture to prove that the spirits, the Lord can actually talk to you. All right. It says, after the earthquake, it fired, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after that fire, a still small voice. And this is 1 Kings 19:13. And it was so when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his mantle. All right. And went out and stood in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, "What doest thou here, Elijah?" And you got to have faith to believe that these events actually took place. First Kings 19:14, he said, "I have been very jealous for Yahweh Elohim." I believe Tazabah might be for host.
Yep.
Because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thy altars, and slain thy prophets. So back then, there were other prophets who aren't really mentioned, but that were put to death, that were killed. They had their heads cut off. They were slashed up, thrown in pits off of cliffs. All right. And slain thy prophets with the sword, and I am left, and they seek my life to take it away. All right, so being a prophet, and Elijah had to run. All right, so running ain't you ain't sinning if you had to run from a fight.
That's it. Y'all shot.
Right. Yeah. And Elijah had to run to hide himself. And Elijah had spiritual power to call the chariots. And Elijah still had to run. All right. There's the 18th verse, and that concludes my point pretty much. As yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. So the point is, the Lord has spirits out here that's going to protect us, going to use the environment to protect us. It's up to Yahweh Shai how we're going to be protected, but the Lord's elect are going to be protected. All right, just like Elijah was protected, just like Elisha was protected when Elisha struck, I believe, all of the Syrian soldiers with blindness. Because Elisha was the understudy of Elijah. All right, he multiplied the oil, raised the dead, all that. All right, and he heard the voice of the Lord, or some angel speak,
right.
and it secured him and fed him. All right, it reads, I believe, in the same chapter. He sat under a juniper tree, and the ravens gave him food, and he drank from the brook. All right, so we gotta have faith that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to protect us in that day.
Got a quick precept. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So, point of that precept was, no matter what may befall you, no matter what predicament or situation that you are going to be put in, Most High got you there. And it's an ultimate test of whatever situation you may be in at that present time of your faith. So to be faithful, continue to have that confidence in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Continue to be in the spirit of defending the gospel, okay? And committed to this truth, even if it shall be that Esau threatens you with death. Because at the end of the day, you're going to come back with that crown. All right? There's a reward, all right, for your life. Okay? And the elect are all going to receive that reward, that crown. Okay? One way or another. If you are part of the elect, whether you are part of those that remain and are alive and beamed up, or you're a part of those men that passed away in the spirit during some of this tribulation, right? And that's not to scare you, that's to prepare you. Because when these things happen, you'll be able to embrace these words that Yahweh Shai said, that's going to carry you through. That's going to be your confidence, even if you're faced with death, and you know that you got that crown of life coming to you through and through, and that there's nothing on this side for you any damn way, and it's time for this kingdom to go. All right.
Got one more.
So that was it. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Those will be words that'll keep a brother stable if it so happens to be that you happen to be one of those brothers who may be a martyr or be headed for the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. You're going to embrace that and know that this is for my power, man. And that, hey, that crown is coming to me. You know, and it's a small price to pay for eternal life. All right, and what Yahweh Shai is going to do and change us and give us, man. There's no comparison. Go ahead.
This is a comic board. It says Proverbs 18:10 says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth into it and is safe." And I bring this out occasionally. When you look up safe, the word there is shagab, which means too high, inaccessibly high, too high for capture, set on high, exalted. All right, so that's the elect. The elect are in the Lord's hands.
So,
literally, I mean.
That's it. Perfect. I just want to read one more to, again, I was saying it all night, but bring it full circle based off the first precept that we read in Hebrews, the 3rd chapter, about not having doubt settle in your mind or be of that evil heart of unbelief. The scripture is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 73. It says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power." So, you know, I think that's pretty much straightforward, man. That's where our confidence is. This is where our stability is. So cast off all doubt, man. Pray that the Most High give you a stronger spirit, okay? Make you more callous to this world, okay? The only thing left is for Esau to make his moves so we can get the hell up out of here, man. So this is, we got to embrace the transition that's getting ready to take place, as we know that it's a part of the salvation that is to come onto us. So as long as we remain diligent and faithful and true unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, He will reciprocate that with salvation and strength. So we hope that brothers were edified. Okay, we want to give all power and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rachak. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the sincere Akim, the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad, that are pushing the prophecies and staying steadfast in the faith of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. To you we say shalom.
Shalom.
Okay.
Shalom.
Wa abad babah.
Shalom.
Shalom.